and I would like to tell you welcome to the club. Join the club of nurturing children and unlocking their potential. And I hope you are ready for it, because every other day, actually, as the children are learning, you are learning as well. And there is so much that is unfolding about your the child in you, because each one of us has a child in us. Yeah. So you're going to learn a lot about just how it has been for you, even as you are growing up, as you're helping the other children. All right. So I don't know whether there's anything else that you wanted to hear from me in regard to who I am, or I can continue. All right, that's good. Thumbs up so I can continue. All right, let me delve into our topic for the day, and that is art therapy. So for me, I'm going to add a word in between there. It's art expressive, or rather a projective therapy. Art expressive, projective therapy. And this refers to any combination. Yeah, it can be dance, it can be writing, it can be visual arts, it can be drama, puppetry, it can be music, or any other creative outlet. And of course, even cookery, embroidery for the ladies and for our little girls, that is also part of therapy, the beading, the crocheting. So art therapy is a representation of the unconscious self. It's a representation of the unconscious self. We are able to see reflection of our internal world. What people cannot see, we are able to see it once we put it on paper. And it has been shown to help our children, and also adults actually, release and express feelings they may not know how to let go of. Otherwise, it's actually an emotional outlet. So describing words might not be easy, yeah, but every artwork has a story. I think for me, that is what I would like you first to note it down. Every artwork has a story, yeah. Just think about it. Why do people say when I walk to a garden, why do I feel calm? Why do I feel like, a new person altogether? When you are so stressed and everything, you feel, better when you go outside there in a field of sunflowers. Why do we feel nice when we go out there? Yeah. Let's just reflect on that, and maybe we can share that later on before we close. So our focus today will be on visual arts. So do we all have the crayons and the paper? Yeah. Are you sure? Thank you very much. Yes, I also have my own pack of crayons here and papers. So are we all set? Yeah, Wairimu, are the others set? Are they okay? Do they have the necessary tools that we require for this session? We are good?
I hope everybody is good. Yeah, I think everybody should be good.
All right, great. So let's continue. Now, I want us to take it easy, number one. I can imagine the last time that maybe you took a crayon and a paper just to do something. I can imagine when that was, But I want you to put yourself into that 5-year-old or a 3-year-old shoes and just embrace the whole process. I can only imagine how tense some of us are with a lot of creating an art piece. So the best thing about art is that there is no exact expected outcome. So there is no right or wrong. It's all about your creativity. We are all unique in our way. And as long as it makes sense to you and you're able to express yourself, then you're good to go. So we're going to get into our first activity for the day. And that is going to help us to find out where we are here and now. We say the here and now feeling, what you're going through at the moment. And we're going to be in touch with our emotions. Yeah, so let's pick a paper. Let's pick our paper. And using the crayons, actually, I don't even want you to use the pencils. Yeah, I just want you to pick a crayon. And I would like us to draw as many cookies as we can. As many cookies as we can. We are going to draw as many cookies as we can. So please don't worry, you don't have to be good at art to benefit from art therapy. The process is more important than the outcome. So as you draw your cookies, I would like you to color them with feelings you identify in yourself now. Be creative. Be creative. There is no right or wrong. So we are drawing cookies with different colors. And we're going to color them again with the different colors. And this should take us about 5 minutes or so. Wairimu, 5 minutes. Please be our timekeeper. Don't worry, you're not going to share your work with anyone. We don't want to see how you have drawn. That is for you to keep. So I hope we have drawn our cookies. They can be any shape, by the way. Your creativity now comes in here. So depict your joy, your anxiety, your sadness on these cookies. Go with your gut feeling and intuition. Create the image of the feelings you're experiencing right now. Create the image of the feelings that you're experiencing right now. Don't overthink, just pick a crayon. And just express your emotions. You can be as creative as your gut feeling is telling you. Use a variety of colors, depending again with your feeling. So Wairimu, you let us know once our 5 minutes are over. Let's get in touch with our emotions. Please, again, don't overthink. Let go of it and use our intuition so we can get those feelings and easily express them on paper. Remember, you're not going to share any of this with anyone. That's for you. That's for your eyes only. So no one is going to judge you. Wairimu, 5 minutes over.
We have 1 minute to go. Okay, let's be winding up. It's almost time. Okay, it's time. It's time.
So we are all done. Okay. So let us try and reflect. How was the experience? Maybe Wairimu, you can give us an opportunity to share that, how it felt as we were doing that activity, because I think that is what is going to help us even as we get to understand further how it works for the children. So let us just share our experiences. How did it feel?
For me, it was fun.
It was fun.
I enjoyed it. Can I go on?
I like that.
The long and short of it is that I don't want to stop. I want to go on and on.
I like that because actually that is what happens with our children even in the classrooms. When you're doing an art activity, you realize that they don't want to stop. They just want to continue and continue. And why do you think that is happening? Maybe one of us can just tell us. Why do you think that is happening? Why does Elsie have that feeling of she wants to continue doing that?
I think the coloring in a way, like I was surprised to see that it actually helps you get in touch with your emotions. Like when you first said cookies, I'm like, okay. I mean, cookies and emotions, where do those go together? But as you start coloring, you start feeling like you're actually, now when you think about it, you're removing your emotions on the paper. So that becomes calming. You want to continue expressing whatever it is you're feeling. Yeah.
Wow, I am glad you felt that. Yeah, somebody else?
I think it's been an opportunity to just, I think that's what someone there has said, share what's going on. I think a lot is going on, but you're not necessarily voicing it. So it's given a platform to outpour. Yeah.
Wow. Anybody else before I share?
Yeah, for me, I felt that I didn't want to draw cookies because I feel like I'm adding weight. So 5 minutes were just too long.
Oh my goodness. So Miriam, again, your fears, yeah? Your fears came out so clearly in terms of the cookies, eh?
Like
oh my
anything
goodness.
but cookies, but I drew.
Yeah?
Yes.
All right. I am really sorry about that, eh?
Yes.
Yeah, about...
one moment. Mute me.
No problem. Okay, thank you for that. Wow, I just love what Miriam has shared. So you can all see how much art, the drawing and the coloring can actually bring out so much from inside of you. By the way, I had never thought that somebody can be affected by drawing the cookies, and that's, I thought maybe that's, it would be a fun thing to ask people to draw, because I believe we all love cookies. But anyway, Miriam's feelings have come out that it was not easy for her to draw the cookies because the thought of adding weight for her, that's a no-no. So thank you, Miriam, for that, for sharing. Yeah, for me, I felt a certain relief. I think this is the second time I'm doing this activity, but I don't know again why when I kept on coloring with the different colors, I had this deep sigh. I kept on, having a deep sigh, and I'm like, okay, what's happening to me? But I know that has a terminology in counseling and psychology. So I think it's a good thing that we have all experienced something in us in terms of bringing out what we are feeling on paper. All right. The colors we will be able to look at. So please don't throw away your paper. We will be able to interpret what the different colors that we have colored with mean, in terms of our emotional and behavioral effects. So please keep it aside. So clearly, we want to express our feelings on paper because we know words have a limit. As one of us has shared, we express because we need to be heard, validated, and be listened to without being judged. You can imagine if somebody is asking you, okay, how are you feeling? You'll always say, I'm okay, I am fine, but in real sense, you are not, but at least when you're doing this kind of art, you are able to be heard and be listened to without being judged, which is really hard to get that sometimes. And that is why we have art. We can hear ourselves, we can see our feelings right in front of us, which is very validating, and we can empathize with our own selves. So like for me, different emotions came out, and I just needed to sit back after this and check what is happening, you know. So again, with our children, it is hard for our children to open up during talks, and words are so hard to communicate. Yeah, words have a limit. You know, art is nonverbal, so it gives them a safe expression. And this one, even for adolescents, it works really well because it is less intimidating. And at times your child might seem calm and collected. You know, we are so happy. Hey, my child, you know, they're calm and collected. And you never know. And at times they're known to be the tough people, you know, but inside they are just cake. They are breaking down. So for the young ones, they might not know how to express themselves. And when they display aggressive behavior like tantrums, fighting other children, banging doors, shouting or screaming, throwing or breaking things, you know, you can be able to pick all that from some of the art that they do. At times, the adolescents, they threaten to be violent, you know, they hurt themselves, etc. So if we give them that platform of just expressing themselves on paper, I think it can give them control to their lives, because stories unfold and builds their self-esteem. Wairimu, are you there?
Yes, I am.
You guys are very quiet, yeah?
Oh, if you need people to talk, please just let us know. It's okay.
So maybe until up to that point, I would like us just to share one or two things, yeah, before we get into our next activity, because we are having the next activity.
So I think I would want to share something, yeah. What I felt, actually what we've just talked about, sometimes when you're expressing yourself, during the time of the drawing, sometimes you fear what are people going to do, what are they going to think about, you know. But I really enjoyed the activity. It was nice. I drew my cookies, and unlike Miriam, I am thinking of actually doing them, you know, like cooking for my children, because nowadays I am really exploring things to do with baking, cooking, and all those things. I like the point you put there, like the children don't know how to express themselves. I was having some I don't know whether I can call it a bad vibe with my girl, or a negative vibe. Like I think she's become like her temper tantrums. She will make sure that she gets your attention. And comparing the age gap I have with my bigger children, them they have no, they live their life, they do their thing. But this one, since the age gap is so big, sometimes I think maybe I don't know whether we can say like I took so much time, like I bringing up a baby, you know. So I think she really likes to. I like this idea of her expressing herself in paper, like what activities I can really give her, so that she's able to have, like, she's tired, so that she sleeps early, you know. Because nowadays I think too much free, like they're too much free, they don't go outside, so there's no activity. Although we try to work out with her, but I think her energy levels are too high, extremely too high. So I like this idea of what you've just brought, for them to express themselves in paper. That would be a very good idea. I think I'll adopt that.
Wow,
So
I'm glad to hear that, Miriam. And I honestly feel you when you talk about you know, the age gap. Yeah, so maybe there is something that she's trying to communicate. Yeah, that you might not be able to understand, and you might feel like you're babying her too much. But imagine you're not. So you still need to keep her very close to you. You know. But also you need to talk to the siblings, yeah, because she might be having a feeling of isolation, yeah,
yes.
she's feeling neglected by the others. So those are some of the things that maybe you need to find out. And again, just giving her work to do, like the artwork. And of course, there's so many other different ways that you can do it that you're going to share later on. That should be able to help her. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Thank you for that, Miley. Maybe we can continue now. Wairimu?
Yes, go ahead, please.
Okay. So we are going to get into our next activity. And this one is going actually to be checking on our present situation, yeah, during these unpleasant times. And we know our children go through the same, yeah. So we can't assume that their life is all nice and rosy as we see them, talking and jumping all over. No, it's not that. They go through that roller coaster of emotions. And so we need to find out how can we be getting those emotions out of them. So, but we are going to start with ourselves, so that by the time you're doing some of these things with your children, you know what we are looking out for, all right? So we are going to draw a person, yeah? You're going to draw this person, and this person will be in the rain, yeah? We're going to draw a person in the rain, and we are going to come up with a story for this person, yeah? So don't worry, even if you don't know how to draw a person, it's okay. You can even do a stick figure. Hakuna shida. But we just want to express our feelings through that. Yeah, and that one should take us about 10 minutes or more. And of course, using the different colors that we have. So we are not using a pencil. Let's remember that we are using our crayons or our coloring pencils as we're doing this activity. So this is a projective personality test. It's a projective personality test that you can as well. In fact, even for the adolescents, it's a very good activity because to them it might make more sense. Yeah. So let us try to draw this person in the rain. All the best. Projective personality test. It's going to project our inner emotions. But of course, we're going to talk about it more and deeper once we are done with the activity. So 10 minutes, Wairimu.
I'll share.
So this is going to bring out, it's going to reveal our attitude towards those unpleasant circumstances that come by in our lives. You don't have to be an artist as long as you understand what you're doing, well and good. So don't overthink. Once again, just be yourself.
Oh my God, don't hear side, please.
In the afternoon.
This is for top.
Go. Go to the table room. I'm coming. Funga mlango. Good boy.
So let us be reminded that our emotions have energy behind them. Our emotions have energy behind them. So with the colors that you're picking, what is happening? Why are you picking those colors? Why are you picking those colors? Again, don't overthink. Don't overthink.
We have about 3 minutes to go. I think we are overthinking.
Let's not overthink.
I know I am overthinking. Let me put it that way.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah. Because I don't know what you're going to tell us. So you're just creating a story in the head of what you need these drawings for.
Yeah, just as I said earlier, we are not going to share the drawing. So nobody's going to know what you're going through. So don't worry. It's very private and confidential. Yeah.
Has everybody finished? Or we still give you the 2 minutes remaining?
Finished.
Finished.
I have finished.
Okay. We have a thumbs up from
Okay.
Betty. Yeah, I think most people have done.
Wow. I had the sigh from Miriam. Miriam, was that right? Wow. That means things are happening. Things are happening. Yeah. That's a very good sign. It's a very good sign that you're therapizing yourself.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, through the work that you're doing. It's called catharsis. Yeah, so maybe you can check that out once you have our own time. It's called catharsis. You know, when you take that deep sigh, it's like you're finding relief. Yeah, by expressing
What?
whatever. Catharsis. 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 Yeah, so we are good.
Yes.
Yes, now that I know you cannot rub, and that is why I kept on emphasizing that we should not use a pencil. You know, a pencil is very easy for you to start changing things here and there. So my question is, are we projecting undesirable feelings or emotions to our children during this unpleasant situation? Yeah, the COVID-19, that's an unpleasant situation to us and to our children. And remember, this is the time that we can either make or break our children. You know, they will respond to the current situation because they're looking up to us. You remember, we are the ones to show them that everything is okay. And of course, if things are not okay with you, it's good to even share with them. You know, today I'm not very happy. You know, it's good to share your feelings with them so that even they can learn how to speak out and even to share what they are going through. So be reminded that we are the role models. And if we are not okay emotionally, then we are going to transfer that to our children. Sawa.
Yeah.
And so I think you have a story behind what you have drawn. Yeah. And for me, maybe I can just share something that came about. I've never done this activity. It has always been in my head, but I'm like, one day I will draw. So this was a perfect opportunity for me to do that. I don't know whether any one of you felt what I felt or rather experienced what I experienced. When I was drawing the paddles, I don't know, okay, again, it all depends with our creativity. I don't know whether you have paddles, but for me, when I was drawing the paddles, I had this a voice in my mind telling me, pick a black color. Your paddles should be black, you know? And then my conscious mind, I'm trying to think, okay, normally paddles are what color? You know, now that one I am thinking like a real person, eh? So I'm trying to think, should I take blue because of the water or brown because of the mud? But something is pushing me and telling me, pick black, you know? So I actually had to come back to myself and I'm like, okay, and my unconscious mind is telling me pick black. So I had to pick black and color and I felt relieved by that. So then that is why I kept on asking, why are you picking the colors that you're picking? I don't know how it looks, how the person in the rain looks, but that is a question that I would like you to ask yourself. Maybe later on, as I will end up with this, we can now go back to it. So this test, it actually reveals your true self. Yeah, it's possible to evaluate different areas of your subconscious, such as fears, some of the fears, the dreams, and main personality in general during this time. It analyzes how a person responds to particular situations. Yeah, as you can see through the drawing. Yeah, so we are going to see actually what you have drawn. Okay, no, please don't show me. We are just going to interpret it. We are going to interpret it. So I would like you to pay attention to your drawing. So as I had said, the main objective is to obtain the information about your personality through the image and unpleasant, which is the COVID. Yeah. So what we are going to analyze in your drawing is one, the orientation of the drawing. The orientation of the drawing. Where have you placed your drawing? Where have you placed your drawing? Yeah. If the person on your sheet of paper is located on the right, it indicates your desire to grow professionally. Yeah. And your confidence in what will happen in the future. And the
Go
confidence.
slowly.
Sorry. All right. Okay.
Okay.
If the
Desire
person
to grow professionally, we've drawn the person on the right.
on the right, yes. And your confidence in what will happen. Okay.
Somebody
Sorry.
saying, wait a minute.
Fatma,
Yes.
is it your right or my right?
Our
You're
right.
right. You are right. You are right.
The right
Your
hand.
paper, yeah, your paper on your right hand. Yes. So this is about you. On your paper, on your right hand, your right hand.
Correct. Write something.
Is that okay?
Yes.
If the person is located on the right, I am sure you have drawn a person, right? Everybody has drawn a person?
Mm.
Yes.
Yeah, because I said you draw a person in the rain, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So I've said if the person is on your right, what does it mean?
The desire to grow professionally.
Yes, and your confidence in what will happen in the future, and the confidence, yeah, and the confidence in what will happen in the future. If the person is on the left of the paper, it shows your pessimistic attitudes. I can hear giggles, eh? Yeah. And also that something from your past prevents you from being happy in the future.
Sorry, pessimistic what?
Pessimistic attitudes.
Something in the past?
Something from your past prevents you from being happy in the future. Yeah? Are we together? And if the person is in the center, they occupy a central position, it means you are quite competitive. You're quite competitive. You're right there at the center. It means you are quite competitive. I think I need a ruler here now. Yeah?
No, if we are very right or very wrong, very left.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah. Are we together?
Just a clarification, Fatma.
Yes.
So the first one you said is about the drawing, right? If the drawing is
Yes.
on the right, then
Yes.
now we are talking about the person, where you put the person. In the
Yes,
middle,
if
in the middle,
not really the drawing.
the person, like a person we've drawn.
Yes,
Okay.
it's about the person. Yeah.
All right.
All right. So are we? So you're together?
Yeah.
Yes.
So if the last one was if the person is in the center, it means you're very competitive. Yes. Now let's ask: do we have umbrellas on our drawings?
No.
It is all right. Don't worry. It is okay. But if you have no umbrella, yeah, it indicates that you have no protective mechanisms and resources to cope with difficult life situations.
Slowly.
You can imagine Millie, rain is there and you're just there, you're getting rained on. Think about it. Yeah. So it's amazing how what is brought about by the drawings, eh?
Yeah.
Let's look at the next one, eh?
Fatma.
Yes, please, Elsie.
I have an umbrella, yes.
Yes.
But instead of my umbrella facing down, it's facing up, and that's why I'm sad. Yeah. So what does that reveal? Like the way the wind is so much and then
yes,
it's looking there. So what does that show?
Is it about the wind being so much, or it just happened? But that was so unconscious, I'm sure. Yeah. I don't know whether that is what you had thought from the word when you're drawing your umbrella. Had you thought about the wind being too much? That is why your umbrella was like that.
Yes.
You just thought about it.
No, I thought about it then when I was drawing, because the way the umbrella, instead of facing down, it just faces up. And so I'm actually being rained on because my umbrella is not working.
Oh my goodness. I think you fall, it's as good as not having any umbrella. Yeah, because if the umbrella is not helping you, then clearly, okay, you have or maybe you have the resources, but you don't know how to use them. Yeah, because yes, you have an umbrella, but it's not placed in the right way. Yeah. Yeah. So
Fatma?
Yes.
Yes, so I have an umbrella and I related back to those umbrellas when we were kids. They have like a million colors on them.
Yes.
And there's rain, but it's not on the sides, it's where the umbrella is. Then I have paddles on the ground. Yes.
Okay, I didn't get that clearly. I think I'm getting a bit of interference with my net. So you said, Miriam, Please come again.
So I have this umbrella, those colored ones. It has like 10 colors on it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so it's rain, but area is. But then there are muddy puddles on the ground. Yes.
So is the umbrella covering you?
Yes. There's no rain anywhere else. Only up.
Where
up,
you are?
Up. There's no rain. I'm actually. Oh dear.
I am really. I don't know why I'm not getting that bit, Miriam.
she's. I think what I'm understanding is she's covered by the umbrella and it's multicolor. Yeah.
Yes.
The shade of the umbrella has many colors, and then she has puddles on the ground.
Yes.
Is that what you're saying, Miriam?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. I think that's an ideal picture of a person in the rain. I like the fact that you have put in the muddy puddles. That is very good. I think we're going to look at that as we move along. Yeah. So let me just try and analyze, interpret everything, and then we can now have our questions. Sawa sawa?
Okay.
Yeah. All right. So there's this bit of a large umbrella. Look at your umbrella. Is it too big? Yeah. Is it covering you completely? Or as some part of it is being rained on? Look at how you've drawn the the raindrops. I can see myself here. I'm actually outside the umbrella, but I have an umbrella. Yeah. So this one means that you're very defensive.
Wow.
Very, very defensive. The type of person who always needs protection and prefers isolation. Yeah. You always need protection and prefers isolation. Okay, interesting. Are we together? The other question that we need to ask ourselves is, does our umbrella have a handle? Does it have a handle, or it's just that thing in the middle? Yeah. So if you have a handle, then it means you always need support and some action plan prepared, even if you know you won't need it. Backup plan.
Please repeat that again, sorry.
You always need support and some action plan prepared, even if you know you won't need it. It's more of cushioning yourself. Yeah. Okay. Are we okay?
Yeah.
The human figure. I want you to look at how you have drawn that person in the rain. Is the person facing you? Are you getting the front view? If you have drawn the front view, then you have the ability to confront difficult situations. You have the ability to confront difficult situations. And of course, if you have just drawn the back view, you cannot see your eyes, your nose, and your mouth, then yeah, you're this person who likes to go unnoticed. Yeah. You like to go unnoticed. You feel the need to go unnoticed. It's actually you feel the need to go unnoticed. And if you have the profile view, it's that kind of like a half photo, the half drawing. You desire to avoid ambiguous situations. Ambiguous. It depends on where we went to school. Miriam, you can help us on that. Ambiguous. Yeah. Ambiguous. Ooh. You know, kindergarten teachers, we don't use such big words, eh?
Avoid. What do they avoid? Ambiguous what?
Situations.
Situations. Yeah. So if you have given us the back view, then you feel the need to go unnoticed. Jane, is Jane still around? And Betty?
Yes, they are.
All right.
Betty may not be, but Jane is around.
Okay.
Yeah. Did you see Jane's question?
No,
Jane
I haven't.
said,
Oh dear.
Jane talked about for her, she has a paper bag because she was not expecting the rain.
Oh, nice. Nice. Okay, we'll look at that. We'll look at that later.
Yeah.
So we are good with that. So we are going to the size of the drawing. The size of the drawing. If your drawings are too small, yeah, it projects a lot of insecurity and feeling of inferiority. If your drawings are small, yeah, it depicts the feeling of insecurity and inferiority. Low self-esteem, yeah. And of course, if they are big, am I too fast?
Just a little bit, but go ahead.
Okay. And if they're too big, once again, there is a need to be recognized. You feel the need to be recognized, prone to vanity. So you need to be, you feel the need to be recognized when the pictures are too big. There's a lot of dominance right there. Are you okay? So how did you start drawing your picture? How did you start when you're drawing? Yeah? Maybe you can share that very fast. Myself, I started with the head.
Yeah.
Okay. Head.
Myself, I started with the clouds. The clouds,
Wow.
the dark clouds, the blue clouds.
Hey, you guys are creative, huh? You have the dark clouds.
I started with the head.
Okay. Head. All right.
I also started with the head.
Also started with the head. So the head, we have about 3 people. Nobody started with the feet. All right, the most common way is to start with the person's head, yeah? And finish with the raindrops. And finish with the raindrops. If you started with the feet, it shows that you tend to choose the wrong way to solve your problems. Yeah, if you started with the feet. Did anybody start with the feet? Although I said it's going to be confidential. Please don't share, it's okay. Yeah, just say it to yourself. Yeah, just say it to yourself. And if you started with the umbrella, it can be a sign of excessive defensiveness. That is where I started. Let me just be honest. I can't just keep quiet.
What? Wow.
Yeah, I started with the umbrella. So that's a sign of being excessive defensive, you know? And that's true about me. By the way, that has really brought out the person in me. Yeah, I am very defensive. Okay, not always, at times. Yeah. Okay. Does the person move in your drawing? Yeah. Are the feet standing, or are they showing some sort of movement? Yeah. If the person is staying still, it shows that you want to protect yourself from the surrounding world. You just want to stay there, comfort zone, eh? Yeah. and that you have some problems with adaptation. But at least if your feet are facing maybe a certain direction, it means that you are ready to face the future. Yeah, you're ready to move into the future. You know where you're heading with your life. Yeah, you know where you're heading with your life. Now you can imagine that is too much to interpret if you're not a therapist, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And most of the times, when our children are drawing, we just look and say, "Oh, this is beautiful," and you don't even know what you're talking. And maybe they're just trying to say something to you, and you're there saying it is beautiful. Yeah. So some of these small things, it would be nice for us to take note of, and I will just give you a few tips on how you can do that. But of course, I know you cannot be able to go so deep because there is a lot more than just what we are sharing today. Yeah. So how did that feel? How did that process feel to you? Maybe you can share. Wairimu, over to you.
Is there anyone who wants to share right now? Who has not talked? Edith, are you still there?
Yes, I am.
Would you like to share something? Hello, would you want to share? Hello. Okay, I can talk in the meantime as somebody else chooses. First, because I drew my lady, her hands were down. So by the time I was putting my umbrella, I realized she needs to hold it up, and I didn't carry an eraser. So yeah, I hadn't thought of the umbrella was, and the drops were last for me, but I think I was just drawing. I was drawing as you're talking, so I don't think I put too much thought, but who knew? Yeah, who knew? Who knew?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Has it brought out something in you that you feel it's true?
Yeah, I think from the descriptions, yeah, a lot. Yeah, they for the most part they were true.
Okay.
Mm.
Thank you for that, Wairimu. And again, this is not like a casting stone, so don't be worried.
Yeah.
Don't be worried, but at least about 60 to 70% of it should be able to speak about you, about the unconscious mind, and maybe you can just sit back and reflect about some of the things that have been brought out by the drawing. Okay. Yeah. Anybody else before maybe now I can go back to Miriam and Jane regarding the paper bag?
I was just wondering, if you start with the head and finish with the raindrops, what did you say? Because I know you said about starting with the feet and starting with the umbrella, but I missed what you said about starting with the head and finishing with the raindrops. What does that show?
Ideally, that is how you're supposed to start, with the head. Because in real sense, that is you. Yeah. And anytime that you are told to draw, or a child is told to draw, the first person they should draw is themselves. Yeah. So that is okay, Elsie. That is okay. Maybe just to answer about regarding the feet, yeah, it shows that you tend to choose the wrong way to solve your problems if you start with the feet. Yeah. Okay. Where is Millie?
Yeah.
Maybe you can share with us your experience. How did it feel?
For me, I drew myself being rained on because I really love the weather of rain and cold. I don't mind it. I don't like the sun a lot. So for me, I was with a smiley face.
Wow.
The rain was raining on me. The muddy puddles were there, and I love the experience. It has really talked to me about my character. Some are scary, but it's a good feeling.
It's a good thing. Yeah. Actually, that's the whole idea, because once you get to find out those negative feelings that we are never in touch with, it now helps us to be more alert and aware when some of these triggers are being made. So
Yes.
I'm glad to hear that. Now you said that you love the rain.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the rain here was to signify, I mean, to just talk about the unpleasant situation. Of course, the rain is an unpleasant. We don't like, most of us don't like to be rained on, but now
Yeah.
yours seems to be opposite, yeah, which is okay. If you're smiling, then you are a go-getter. Yeah, you are a go-getter and you can handle it very well.
Yeah.
Sawa. Jane, Jane talked about the paper bag, but maybe she can just share with us. I'm sorry, I'm a teacher. I don't like leaving anybody out.
Okay, Jen says she can't talk right now, but she's amazed at how such a simple activity has drawn out so many lessons and revealed a lot about herself.
Yeah.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
great. That's good to hear. So in regard to the paper bag, in regard to the paper, I don't know what she was carrying. Maybe she could have told us what she was carrying in that bag. Yeah?
I think Jen carries paper bags all the time.
All the time, Wow. Yeah,
but
anyway,
I think she has the plastic one, the ones which are the government has banned.
Exactly. Yeah, so she's still stuck in the past. Yeah, she's still stuck, but it's a good thing, because actually she's it shows some sort of security. Yeah, she has something that she's holding, so that's part of security for her. So she, as much as she has the umbrella, but she still has something else. So for her, she really needs a lot of support. Yeah. All right. Let's go to Wanjiro. Good to see you, Wanjiro.
Well, for me, the face, I started drawing the profile view.
Ooh,
and
okay.
I changed because I'm not a good drawer. So I have a profile. So my face is profile and then it's front.
It's front.
And then this was a more enjoyable, yeah. So it's a funny shape. Sorry, babies, holidays.
It's okay, not to worry.
Yeah, and I have a handbag.
Oh.
And I'm in the rain, and I don't know why I'm smiling, but I'm holding the umbrella, and it's in.
Wow,
Yeah.
that shows.
And I'm in a dress, and I rarely wear dresses.
I know.
So,
Okay. I think that that shows a lot of optimism in you.
Does that mean when our children are drawing people with smiley faces, that's a good thing?
It is a good thing. I will look at that later, maybe in the next activity. Okay, we are not doing an activity. I'll just now be telling you some of the things that you can do with the children, and of course give you some of the interpretations that you can look out for. And that will be one of the things that we will be looking at. Yeah. Actually, there is a lot in art. I know we cannot exhaust everything. Yeah, but maybe just to first answer the people who have drawn the paddles, I think it's a good thing, because you are in touch with what is happening in your life. Because of course, if there is rain, they are what? They are paddles, right? And of course, with these paddles also, it makes it difficult for one to move. But if you're moving in the paddles, then that is a good sign. That means you're not stuck. And you're so much in touch with what is happening around you. Sawa. Yeah. So I think we can move on. Any other question that I might not? Betty. Oh, you see Betty is not around. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Betty left us. The one who has come is Imelda.
Wow.
But I think I'm not sure. Imelda, I think you found us halfway through the activities or before?
I've been on and off because I'm in the office.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, so this is one activity that we can do with our children, by the way, and you can have them do it when you feel like they are a bit disturbed. I'm sure we can all tell when our children are not looking okay. So you can just sit down with the child and tell them, okay, now I want us to draw this person who is, you know, in the rain. And even for the adolescents, it's a very nice, because adolescents right now, they are going through that emotional turmoil. It's a very tough place for them. And of course, they think they know it all, but their brains are not yet fully developed. So they are still having this struggle with them in making decisions and everything. So it can be also a very good place to start with them, of course, among other activities that I'll share along the way. So clearly art heals and prevents. You're able to relax and distress. You know, therapeutic working with our hands makes us engaged. Yeah, it's an outlet of thoughts. Do you all agree with that?
Yes.
Eliminating the negative feelings, all the tension, all the anger, the sadness built up inside of us or even in our children is released from our heart to our brain to our hand in a non-destructive way. Yeah. So you can walk away from the artwork. You see, like what some of those negative feelings that are showing from the drawings. You can decide, okay, so I've drawn, I've left you there, and you know you're good to go. So art allows us to process whatever we are going through, but of course we have to be very intentional with what we are doing. We have to be very intentional with what we are doing. Let us not hold back, even for our children when they are drawing. Please don't go and start telling them, you have not put the eyes, the nose, and the mouth. You know, that is what teachers do. But in real sense, you're supposed to leave it that way. Yeah? And maybe later on, once the child is done with the drawing, you can now ask, hey, how come your person, like for me, I have just realized on my picture, on my drawing, that I did not draw my ears, you know? Imagine, here I am. I don't have ears. So what does that mean? You know? So it's very important for you to be detailed, but don't disrupt the child when they are doing their art piece. Please don't show them what to do. Let them just flow with their emotions. And through that, now you can be able to discuss about what they have drawn, and you'll be able to pick out a few things. So activities that you can do with our children, and I'm sure that is where we are really looking forward to activities. So in art, we can have the directive art. Directive meaning where you're telling what you want the children to draw, yeah? Or you can have the non-directive, whereby you just let them be, let them just explore the colors, let them just explore the paints, you know, and now you're able to observe whatever that they have drawn. The intensity of the feelings can be identified by how the drawing has been done. And now that is where we're going to look at the interpretations. But before we get into that, maybe I can just talk about the painting. Painting is very interesting. And I don't know whether you have seen how children love mixing colors. If you just let them be, you know, without standing there. Like yesterday, my children were actually painting. And I told myself, I always refrain myself from going to where they are, because I keep on telling them, how can you use that? How can you use that? You know, because I know what it means. And I don't want to be in reality with, you know, with what is there. So I avoid staying with them. So, but my daughter is big enough. She's able to control the small one. So I just let them be, let them mix the colors the way they want. Yeah. And as paint flows, so does emotions, and therefore even negative emotions are expressed in a socially accepted way. What do I mean by this socially accepted way? You know, when there is so much tension in our children, yeah, what happens is that they start doing other things that are so disruptive, that are so annoying, that they even end up frustrating you, mostly even during this COVID time. Our children are locked up in their houses. As Miriam mentioned, Miley mentioned that like the daughter has a lot of energy. Yeah, she has a lot of energy. And how do they just get this energy out? Remember, we talked about emotions. Emotions have an energy in it. So when we just let our children do, you can just get a very long t-shirt and tell them, and I will go into paint, do what you want. And that child can even take hours out there, just playing around with the paints. And by the time they are out of that place, they feel so relieved, and they feel they have achieved, because it was not a controlled area whereby you're telling them what to do and what not to do, and you're just judging each and everything that they are doing. So let us try and just let them be in whatever that they do, because they express themselves in a socially accepted way. Finger painting, when they're doing maybe the finger painting, you can observe how the child applies him or herself to the task. the rate at which they're doing their work, the rhythm, you can pick out a lot. When the child is getting into this color, you can look at the facials, you can look at, are they tense or are they just doing it freely? The colors the child employs, the types of lines that the child is putting. And then at the end of it all, please, no matter how ugly that work looks, or no matter how much you cannot make out what the child has done, just ask the child to tell the story of the painting and whether it reminds them of anything, So yes, you have done the painting. So does this painting remind you of anything? And actually the child will tell you. There is something that my son did yesterday, and maybe I can just share that with you. I don't know whether you can see it. Can you see that? Yeah? Some of the colors that he has used here, I was not very happy, but who am I? Yeah, who am I? You can see there is a black here, right? And then there is this image here. And if you look at it closely, you should be able to pick out the facial on that image. Can you see something? Can you make out something?
It's
all right. To you, it's an octopus. No, it's not. And that is what I wanted to pick out from. Yes, it's not an octopus. But then I'll tell you what it is. Now, that's the other thing that we do wrong with our children. We'll go tell them, you've drawn such a lovely octopus. Goodness. And for them, that is not an octopus. For them, whatever that they draw is very symbolic. It's very symbolic. And if I tell you the truth, Aki, that was me. Yeah, so that was me. And when I asked him what that was, he actually did not even explain what it was. He just made the same face. Can you see that face? I don't know whether they can see it. We have two eyes somewhere. Mm-hmm. Okay, I cannot. And then there's this mouth. Can you see how the mouth is?
Upside down mouth.
Very good. It's turned upside down. And that's the same face that he made. And do you know why he did that? We did an activity with him in the morning, just before he did the painting. And of course, I was not impressed by what he was doing. So I happened to be mad, quite a number of times over that activity. So I think you can imagine now that is the image that he carried on paper. Yeah. He was trying to, of course, he cannot tell me that, you know what, I don't like the way you get upset. So that is actually what he drew. And when he told me about it, I was like, okay, I am really sorry, but at times you annoy me. Of course, you cannot apologize and not explain why you got mad, right? So, and the dad was drawn with in orange. This is the dad. No, this is him, actually. This is him, the little guy here, the little person, it's him, yeah? So you can see his face also, yeah? He's trying to react over my reactions. Even him is getting mad. Yeah, so with children, you can pick out, but never judge. Don't ever go saying, oh, that's a beautiful sun, that is a beautiful whatever. Yeah, that is what it looks to you, but to them, it's a totally different thing. So ask the child to tell the story of the painting and whether it's reminded of anything by the painting. That is the painting work. Now, again, there is much more, but that's just the basic. Now we have the drawing, yeah? Okay, of course, the drawing varies from 2 years. 2 years all the way to about 12. Yeah, from again 13 all the way, again, it's totally different. So with the drawing for the 2 years, please don't expect so much, yeah? 2 years, it's more of, scribbles, they scribble haphazardly. It's so much uncoordinated, but please don't rule that out. Elsie, now that you're getting into the teaching world, you'll be having an activity of weekend news, and you'll be expecting the 2-year-olds to draw, yeah? And even as they draw, please respect whatever they draw, even if they're just lines, it's okay. But trust me, that child can tell you what they have drawn. If you ask them, so who is this? Who is this? There's a story behind it. There is a story behind it. And the children feel very validated when you listen to them and when you ask them about their artwork. But if you just take the work and close the book and go away, oh my goodness, you can imagine where you have left that child. They feel they feel neglected. So for the 3 years, it's again scribble, but seem to put boundaries in their work. The 4 to 5, it's now symbolic, like what I have shown you right now. That's my son's work. Is about 4 years now. They draw in purpose, by the way. They draw in purpose, and you could tell clearly from what he has drawn. 7 years, they are very constructive, and their art can actually explain itself. It can explain itself. So as I have mentioned about the directive artwork, so when you tell, and I think I've mentioned this earlier, when you tell a child to draw a person, the first person should be themselves. The first person should be themselves, showing they are in touch with themselves. But if they don't draw themselves, then there's a problem. There's a problem somewhere. Yeah. So I have started interpreting the drawings. So please take note. So position of the objects, again, I think we had mentioned it, and when we are doing the task on the person in the rain, parent being on the right side. Parent being on the right side, you are in the future. You are in the future. And if you are on the left, you are in the past. And ideally, the child should always be on the right. The child should be on the right. The child should start drawing the parents on the left, and then the child should be on the right, which means that they're futuristic. They have hope. They have, they can see the future in them. So when the child, when the pictures are on the upper right, whatever it is that they're drawing on the upper right, it speaks optimism. It speaks optimism. Okay, this maybe works well with when you tell a child to draw the family members. Yeah, to draw the family members. And I think that's a very good place to start with our children. For the children who know how to draw, you can tell them, please draw your family members, draw, you know, all the people in the family, but don't tell them the names. Let the child just draw and see how it's going to go. So as they are drawing, you will be able to pick what this child thinks about each one of you and where the child places you in their lives and also in their unconscious mind. So you just take note of, if the person is on the upper right, if you're not in the same line and you're slightly on the upper right, it speaks optimism. Yeah, the lower left shows depression. Lower left shows depression. There's something going on about that person with the child. Maybe the relationship is not all that. Yeah, and then if the pictures are in the middle, all of them, then that's a normal situation. But if the child draws themselves below, shows that the child is needy, the child is insecure. The child is needy and the child is insecure. If maybe the child has drawn the family members and then themselves have drawn themselves underneath, below there, then there is some sort of insecurity. Yeah. Now, in all that, I'm sure, you know, with our children, they have this favorite person in the family. And of course, when you ask them, they wouldn't really answer that question. But when you look at their drawing, you will be able to pick out, because the person they like most has more details. You know, I think they feel, woo, you know, that comfort. And I am really enjoying even putting the lipstick. I've seen other children doing lipstick, putting eyebrows, putting earrings, and, you know, the hairbands and all that. So yeah, if they put more details, it means the child likes you most. And the cars are more smoother, unlike the person they do not like. You can actually tell, okay, this child took their time to draw, maybe the dad or the mother, you know, or the brother or the siblings. Yeah. The other thing is about the size of the objects. Yeah, size of the object. You can see maybe they have drawn, the dad is very big or the mom is very big. That shows that there is dominance. There is dominance and importance. Yeah. And if they draw very small people, maybe the mother is small, you know, the mother is, you know, or maybe themselves, they're too small. That means they are ignored or they're too submissive. Yeah. And I've actually seen that happening in school, because nowadays I'm very keen on what the children draw and paint, because even for the primary learners, I tell them to every week, I would like to see their artwork. They either paint or they draw. So I have been seeing this a lot in their drawings. And actually, when I sit down and look at that child's life and try to analyze maybe the family, I realize that there's a problem somewhere. And that is how I am even able to pick out issues from the children and even engage the parents in regard to that, because you can actually tell a child is going through some emotional issues, even in the work that they do in class. All right, so there you have the use of space and shading. If the drawing has been done and it's even, you can see it from the other side of the paper, yeah, that means there is a lot of anxiety. There is a lot of anxiety. That child has a lot of anxiety, yeah. And also, if the drawing is not very clear, you know, there's a way that children hold the pencil very lightly, then also that shows anxiety. So both ways, the shading, if it's too deep or if it's very light, yeah, it shows an anxiety. And if the space on the paper, you've told the children, okay, draw on this paper. If the page is not utilized, it means there is a sign of isolation, yeah. If they just decide to draw at the corner of one and they're thinking, okay, instructions were draw on this paper. So if they just decide to pick out a corner of that paper, then there is isolation. Children can decide to draw pictures and not put the arms. Like for me now, there was a omission of the ears on my drawing. Yeah, there's an omission of the ears. You can, maybe a child would not draw the eyes or, you know, the nose or the mouth or the hands or the legs, whatever it is, any omission that the child makes. And they're able to, you can tell at that age, the child is able to put all the details, then that means there is heavy anxiety. Not just anxiety, but there is heavy anxiety. They're dealing with heavy anxiety. But suppose a child draws one eye, yeah? That is not so bad. At least there you can deal with that. That the anxiety there is not very deep. Are we together?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah? All right, that is good. Turned down mouth. I think Wairimu, you had mentioned that.
Yes.
Maybe I'm even scared of saying this because that's my son. Eh? And then at times you can see a child has drawn with arms raised, you know, arms raised or arms turned inwards, you know. Again, underlying anxiety. And I can tell yesterday my son,
Sorry.
it's all right. My son was in that state. My son was very anxious yesterday, so, oh dear, okay, let me sort this out. That's fine. Yeah, so my son was very anxious yesterday, and that is why he drew such a thing, yeah. The other thing is about drawing of legs and hands, yeah. It shows control. It shows control. You know, when that picture is so detailed, it has the hands and the legs. There's a lot of control, but where there is absence, it shows there is life crisis. And this one, mostly you see it in children who are going through trauma. Yeah. So those are the interpretations of the drawings. Of course, I'll give you the colors later. Maybe I can just finish up first on the other types of drawings, that activities that you can do with the children. So we have said that was the family members. You can ask your child to draw the family members. And then you can ask the child to draw an animal that relates to them. Like a pet. Which animal do they like? And what are some characteristics that resonate with them? Yeah. So from the characteristics, you can actually pick a lot as a parent. Yeah. Their inner emotions. What do they feel? You know, if they draw themselves as a lion, if they draw themselves as a, so why would you be a lion? But you know, lions do not live with people. You know, those are some of the questions that you can be talking about. You know, just try and find out, you know, why the child would prefer to be a lion. The other one is to ask a child to draw a cloud and fit all your worries. And that's a very good one for the adolescents as well. Yeah, you tell them to draw a cloud and fit all your worries. Yeah, or it doesn't have to be negative always. Yeah, you can talk about the happy moments, right? Yeah, so you can have two clouds, and then you can be able to analyze them. You can even tell them this. We can be doing this every week. We check on ourselves the whole week, how it has been, or you can have this big cloud and every day you just put in your feelings, the good feelings and the negative feelings. And then at the end of the week, where are we at? You can be able to go back to it. Another one that you can do with the children is to tell them to draw a place you feel safe. And that one actually can be of great help to the adolescents. Yeah, a place that you feel safe. Yeah, some of you might see others join the school and you're wondering, oh my goodness, why? You know, so you need to find out why they're doing that. Yeah. Another activity that you can do with your children is the mandala art. The mandala art. Mandala is, it's okay. There are different ways of doing it. There's a way that you can decide to draw dots for your child, and then the child can go joining the dots as they make this repetitive circular motion, which is really helpful for anxiety. But the simpler one that I normally do with my children is the flower. Yeah, you can start. You can ask them to draw a flower from the center of a page, yeah, of a paper. You draw a small circle, and then now you tell them to go drawing the petals as the petals overlap on one another. So as they're doing that repetitive action, it really helps them in the rapiding anxiety levels. Yeah, you know, those motions from slow to fast, you know, because eventually at the beginning, yes, they'll start slow, but they'll gain that momentum as they move along. And now once they color that mandala, it looks beautiful. In fact, I was trying to look for one that my daughter did. I couldn't trace it, but next time. Yeah, so it can be also a very nice way for them to therapize. Now for the adolescents, we have the river of life. Although that one, I feel it's a bit complicated. And you as a parent, where do you even start with your son or your daughter? You know, and they have this perception about you. So please don't even go there. But there's that kind of an activity that children can do. Yeah, it's more of a self-awareness, a drawing. But maybe that one I can take you through another day. For us as grown-ups, you can do that. But it's a beautiful one because you happen to pick up quite a bit about what happened in your life from the time that you were young. Yeah. Think of yourself as a river, beginning where you started and end where you are at. And then, of course, there are all these things in the middle of the river. We have the rocks. The rocks are symbolic. The crocodiles are symbolic. And then at some point, you'll find a tributary. It's symbolic. So it's a very nice activity as well. So maybe that one we can do it next time. The other sort of art that we can do with our kids is the puppetry. Puppetry, the puppet therapy. It's by the way, don't ignore these things as you come across them. Kwa mtumba, just pick and keep them in your house. You know, one of the evenings when there is no power, yeah, just pick out the puppets and decide, okay, now we are going to do a puppetry show. So it's ready to start. And everyone, even as a grown-up, I would love to do something, right? So let the children take, and even you can imitate some of the, some of the things that you're feeling are going on in your house. And I'm sure that way they're going to learn in a more, in a better way, other than, you keeping on telling them not to do and what not to do. So puppetry also really helps in the rapizing, because you see a child, they'll even try to imitate the dad. This is how the dad is, and this is what he does. And you'll be able to see, wow, that is where you place your dad. Yeah, or even yourself. It's not only the dads. So it's a nice way to the rapize. We also have the watercolor drops. Yeah, I think that one I mentioned about when we were talking about the painting, just watching the colors blend. Yeah. Eva is leaving. Yeah. All right. Bye, Eva. Yeah. So we have the watercolor drops. So you watch the colors blend. Again, that's a way of therapizing. And doodling. Just decide, what we are going to do. Even you as a mother, doodle with them. Doodle with them and see what comes out of that. Again, that one releases a lot of tension, a lot of anxiety in children. Now, there is one activity that I tried doing once with my family, and it was drawing their portrait using their toes. Yeah. Yeah, I just tell everybody, take a pencil, and now today we're not going to use the hands. We're going to use our toes. Again, it's just a fun activity, but the way it comes out, you'll be able to see who is the child going to draw first. Yeah. And even with the features that they're going to do, I know it cannot be that perfect because it's the foot that is drawing, but you'll be able to pick out something out of that. So it makes the children feel very comfortable. Yeah. And even now become more free with you. Yeah. There is Play-Doh, there is clay, there is chapati, making chapati and all that. I mean, all those are ways to just therapize during this time as we are indoors. Yeah. So let us engage our children in the different activities. I'm sure you can pick one or two that you can start off with. Yeah. Maybe you can go through the internet and check out on the River of Life how to go about it and see whether you can bring it down to your child's level. Mostly for those who have the 13, 14 going up, you can see how to go about it with the children. Or the Tree of Life. There's also an activity about the Tree of Life. So that would be really great, yeah, to work on with our children. I think that is what is in our capacity as mothers. Yeah, I've tried to give you the most basic, because now the other ones are a bit more intense and they need to be administered by a professional. Yeah. So after every expressive task, take a moment to talk about what was done and how the child feels about it. Yeah. Talk about what was done by the children, to see how, just to hear what they're going to tell you. Asking questions shows the child you respect them and what they did matters. Just appreciating whatever work that they have done. And even if you need to keep that work, just keep it for future. You never know, because you might pick out a pattern somewhere and later on, maybe you can ask the child to do something else and you'll realize there's a whole difference. Maybe in the way they used the colors and in the way that they will have used the colors, then you'll be able to see the progress of your child. And now that I am talking about colors, maybe I can just share about what the different colors mean, yeah, in art therapy. We can be able to just have a look at that. Wairimu, am I taking too long? We are almost winding up.
Yes,
we are almost winding up. I know that's too much information in one day.
It's good information.
Yeah, so let us just look at the different colors and what they mean. So this one also, you'll be able to look at the work that you have done today later and see where you're at. So color blue, the color blue, yeah. Light blue, let's start with the light blue, is the color of meditation and calmness. Calmness, peacefulness. The color blue is the color of calmness and peacefulness. And the dark blue can symbolize emptiness within, or some sort of depression. It all depends on how much it's being used. We have the orange. As you can see, my son painted himself with orange. It signifies anger or danger. Yeah, anger or danger. I'm going to do the same activity with him today, so I'm going to tell him and see where I'll be placed, or where he'll place himself. Red is about hostility, aggression, and anger. Once again, hostility, aggression, and anger. There's a lot of courage there as well. Courage, and they can actually do anything. Yeah. Purple, I think with the dark blue goes hand in hand. It also shows depression. White, are we together?
Yes.
Yes.
With the white, there is purity and peace. A lot of peace. With the brown shows stability and dependability. You're stable and you're dependable.
Can I write a pink?
Pink is tenderness. Pink is tenderness.
That's why they associate it with girls, right?
With girls, exactly, yes. And the rose flower with the pinks and all. And then you have the black. Black is evil. Yeah, and depression. Now again, my son's painting, goodness, I think I have a lot to do. I have to make sure that he gets out of that space. Yeah. Gray again shows depression. I think most of the dark colors, they show some sort of depression. Green is it symbolizes productivity. There is strength, and there is self-reliance. Productivity, strength, and self-reliance.
Which color was that one? Productivity, strength,
and reliance.
Which color is that?
Green.
Green, eh?
Yes. Are we good?
Yes.
Yes, yeah.
The next one is yellow. Can you hear me?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Yellow. Yellow, we have, it's a happy color, joyous, and shows a lot of enthusiasm. Yeah. Miriam, is it enthusiasm or enthusiasm? Yeah.
Okay.
You know, you're my classmate, so I know. Yeah. So yellow can symbolize the eternal life which stems from the life on the earth given by the sun. Yeah. Yellow people. And you like talking ill about yellow people. Yeah. I'm not talking about the light skin. I'm talking about, you know, there's a certain tribe that is associated with yellow. Yeah. Yeah. So in fact, one of the times, somebody visited my school, and I love yellow. I have painted yellow almost everywhere. So he was asking me, so when did you come from the eastern side? And I was like, why? Yeah. So yellow is happy, joyous, and enthusiasm. Yeah, and I think those are the colors that we have on our the spectrum at the moment for therapy. Yeah, I don't know what you feel. Yeah, we can share our experience once again in regard to that.
So in regards to our drawing, for example, using
Yes.
these colors, did you mean like drawing the individual in these colors? Or is it the coloring of the inside or the umbrellas, as Wachiro had said before?
For as long as you use those colors,
Yeah.
they speak something about your inner self.
Okay.
Yeah. So and that is why I really emphasized on drawing with the colors, because clearly you can tell. Like for me, I think, even for me, I really need to work on myself, because the person in the rain who is me.
Yeah.
Imagine I drew myself in purple.
I know, because my dresses are all purple and white.
You know, and as much as I know these colors, you know, at times I put that aside and decide I just want to be me, you know.
Yeah.
So clearly, you see what's happening. I'm bringing out the unconscious mind, unconscious self in me on paper, and this is what it is about me. So I need to understand what is happening right now. But of course, with the current situation, it's bound to. But I need to check myself again after maybe sometime next week. I need to do a bit of, you know, more drawings and coloring to see where I will be at. Yeah. All right. So, but it doesn't mean that there always have to be signs in your child's drawing or coloring or painting. Yeah. Do not go looking out. You know, you're always there hovering and checking higher. Ako wapi leo? Yeah. Yeah. But it speaks a lot. So don't ignore some of these things, mostly if they are repetitive. If the pattern is repetitive, then there's a problem somewhere. But if we do that, consistently, the paint work, the drawing, you will realize that your child will get out of some of the situations that they are in right now. Yeah. So in summary, drawings provide a window through which one can observe the child's innermost thoughts and feelings. Yeah. Do you all agree on that?
Mm-hmm.
But it's not just about the child. It's even about us grown-ups. Drawings and paintings of young children are not expressions of creative talent, but symbolic representations of their personal view of the world. Yeah. So please let us not just look at how good they are in drawing, because otherwise we are really going to discourage them. So let them just express themselves. Remember, it's a symbolic representation of what is going inside of them, in view of them, of the outside world. Yeah. And simply because drawings and pictures are symbolic, they possess the power to tell things that the child may be unwilling to tell. Yeah. Like even what we have been able to pick out from what we have been doing. Yeah. So it says a lot. And God has given us a great opportunity to rekindle our relationships with our children during this time of COVID, right? And to be very honest, at some point I could no longer, balance what was happening with my work and my home. And at some point I lost touch. Yeah. And I could feel this burden in my heart that actually my children really need me. Now that I got into the farming, so every other weekend I'm always going down to my farm. By the time I come back, the children are asleep. I remember one of the days my daughter asked me, "Hey, mommy, nowadays we don't even go anywhere. We don't go visiting the malls and everything because if I go on Saturday morning, I come back very late in the night. Sunday church, I'm tired. I need to rest, So I push everything away and decide I need my me time. So you never know why we are in this unpleasant situation. Yeah, maybe God is giving us another opportunity. Remember, our God is a God of many chances. Yeah. Yeah. So let us bond with our children, which will make them be securely attached to family values, having greater trust, self-esteem, feel safe to explore the world, and build strong relationships in future. Wairimu, I wish we had time. Maybe I could have shared my story, and how it affected my adulthood. Yeah. And honestly, when I look back, I keep on telling myself and promising myself that I wouldn't want my children to go through what I went through, because I've had so many struggles in my adulthood. And of course, it took me God's grace to be able to identify the problem was. And right now I am work in progress. Yeah. I am work in progress. Of course, I'm not yet there, but I am very watchful and very in touch with myself. And at times I could tell, hey, now here I am going back to, that dark pit. I can tell when I am going back there, and I wouldn't want that to happen to our children. So let us save our children from being dysfunctional adults. Our children are the future of our church and nation. Yeah. And above all, let us see God's wisdom in supporting and raising his children. Yeah. So thank you so much, people, for being so patient with me. I am a person of very many words. I am a detailed person, and I know at times I can take longer than expected, but I hope you have been able to pick one or two items that will be able to work with our children and also help them. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Fatma. But I don't know if everyone will allow. We are now down to 6. I don't mind hearing your story. I don't know what the others think.
Wow.
So that it adds up to, we make sense of your presentation even more. Okay. If everybody will allow.
Elsie, are you okay?
Yeah, Elsie has shaken her head, yes.
Okay. So where do I start? Oh my goodness. Let me start with even how fast I got into this child therapy and how I ended up there. As Wairimu had mentioned, I am a teacher, and I don't even understand how I ended up being a teacher, but I was just drawn to children. But little did I know that I was actually satisfying some of the experiences that I never went through. Yeah. By having other children go through them. Yeah. So it's like I'm actually compensating on what I missed out in my childhood. So like the school that I ran, if you come, I have really invested. I invested heavily on it, and even some of the things that I do, I look at myself and I think, now, is this one commercial, or is it, because it doesn't add up. But later on in life, I think, was it last year, but that is when I realized that, hey, by this thing that you're doing about children, it's not about even those children, it's about yourself. Yeah. So how did I grow up? I grew up in a dysfunctional family, whereby my parents separated when I was very young, and I was taken to my aunt's place when I was about 2 years old. It was not a very good place to be because I was really mistreated. So I had all these feelings of neglect. I felt neglected. Of course, I couldn't voice it out, and I didn't even know about it because I'm a child, I'm innocent. So by God's grace, I happened to grow. And at some point when I was about, when I was in class 4, I went to stay with my mother. Yeah. So that is when my mom took me. And of course, it was not easier once again, because I'm trying to build up this relationship with a person that I never lived with. But again, God is faithful. We were able to live together, but of course, my mom was really, really struggling, even raising us. And I could tell, yes, I was young, but I could tell that it was not easy for my mom to put food on the table. But anyway, again, I managed to sail through all that. Now, during the time that I was at my aunt's place, I was also mistreated, yeah, so many ways. And even at some point, the boys there, they tried to abuse me sexually, but it never happened, because I tried to even hide myself under the bed at night when I could, sense that something of that was meant to happen, because they could tell me, today I'm coming to your bed. And I'm thinking, God, and there's no one I can talk to, because my auntie was not all nice. My cousins, we had the female cousins, but they were not good to me at all. So it was about myself. It was about my instincts. It was about how am I going to react to that. So God is good. I was able to go through all that. I got my basic education, and luckily I was able to get into college after high school. Yeah, and that is where now my journey started in regard to the ECD. But now, when I got married, I've been having issues with my husband. I've been having difficulties and challenges. We've been fighting. Okay, not physical fights, but he just didn't seem to understand what was happening to me. And at some point in my life, I decided to take a few months even away from my work. Like I took 2 months away just to go and understand myself better. So I took a very short course on self-awareness, which took that 2 months. So I could go every morning, because I needed to understand what is it that I am doing that people don't understand. Yeah. And so while I was there, that is when I was able to do so many things. I was able to do the tree of life, the river of life. And so many things from my childhood were able to come out, yeah, that were hindering me from becoming the right partner, yeah, to my husband, and even at some point I felt it had affected my daughter at that time, because I don't think my son was born by then. But anyway, I went through that, and I could actually pick, and that is when I said, wow, I need to now work on myself. So some of the things that actually I went through in my childhood, I brought them back because I never experienced love. So when this man tells me about love, and I'm thinking, love, now what is this? What is love? Me, I can't love. I'm just there. But for him, he's all over me and everything. Anyway, yeah, I'm work in progress. I am trying to work on myself. And maybe the issue of being defensive, because I was the kind of environment that I was brought in, I had to defend myself. I did not have anybody to defend me. So I have a lot of that, but of course I'm still working on it. There's the issue of also isolation, yeah, and even relationships with people. I'm not very good at that, because I was used to just staying on my own. Even when they're having dinner, they could tell me to go eat from the kitchen, and they could all go sit in the living room. I never experienced abundance in my childhood, and right now, okay, some of the things that I do, I look at them and I'm thinking, okay, Fatma, when will you stop compensating? Because I want to feel I have enough food in my house. Like I will even overstock. I don't want to see like unga imebaki moja. I just want to shop more and keep more. So there's so many of those small things that I'm able now to pick out because of the therapy that I went through, and even with the child therapy, because I was able to bring out the inner child in me, and now start first dealing with the inner child and what the inner child wanted, yeah, so that I am able to cope with others as well, and also cope with my husband. That's in a nutshell, Wairimu. Yeah, I think you're able to pick out, yeah, some of the issues that I've been mentioning. And that's why I'm saying we need to raise our children to become functional adults. We don't want them to go through some of the things that people go through because of lack of knowledge. Thank you.
Yeah, well done. Well done, Fatma. Wow, that was
Yeah.
depth. Thank you for sharing your heart. I think not that many people give of themselves, that, being vulnerable. But then it also helps us understand why you're so passionate about this line. Yeah, and I think it suits you, and we need more people like that. I think one of the biggest thing from your story I've gotten is just the importance of being parents who are not selfish. I think in loving ourselves, we are not being good parents. Yeah, so we need to watch over these children, because we wouldn't want them to then start sorting themselves when they are older, when we could already do that when they are younger. So yeah, thank you so much for your life story. And as people digest it, there was a question, two questions actually. And Jane says it's unrelated to the colors, because that was the last thing that you taught us. And I can identify with this question. How about kids who, how kids handle work after it's done? There are some who keep their file away, and others who leave things all over the place. And I have two like those ones. So that's question number one. Those who are so neat and pile things away, and those who just leave them and go. And also the second one is about rubbing. I know teachers, at least in my school, do not encourage a lot of rubbing. So about correcting what work, some rub, others cancel, and others tear the work altogether. And I have exactly a baby who used to do that. If it's not perfect, he will tear or get annoyed and be tantrumy. Yeah, so maybe you can first start with that, as others can just form your questions.
Okay. Maybe I can start with the issue of rubbing and tearing their work, and the ones that, once they're done with maybe a certain activity, they don't even bother picking it. They just leave it like that. So clearly this shows that the child is not very confident with themselves. Remember, each and every child needs to be told, need to be affirmed. Yeah. So affirmations are very key in each and everything that a child does. Even this issue of rubbing all the time, you just have to encourage them. I know you can write very well. I know you can do your work very well. So by the time when they're getting into that work, they know I've been affirmed, and so let me do my best. It's about psychology. It's about playing their psychology. So you're just telling them that I know you can do this. So once they start doing, like for my son, I realized that he was rubbing a lot, although that is very normal for the young ones, because they're excited about this eraser, I mean, I'm just taking something and it's rubbing. I mean, this is fun. But as they move along, that should stop. That should stop. Yeah. And now Papa has to just do things in the right way. And that begins with, how is their mindset? Yeah. How do they feel about what other people perceive what they do? Are they affirmed? So affirmation is very key for a child to be able to appreciate each and everything that they do. I think this, if a child can finish some work and tell them, maybe we can keep this for Shosho to see, or maybe for Uncle to see, or maybe you can take it to your teacher, because that's the language I'm using with my son nowadays. Everything that you're going to do, you're putting it in a folder, and once school resumes, you're going to take it to your teacher. And you should see how this guy takes care of his work, And once he knows that the teacher will be happy about it, then he's good to go. He's going to keep it, yeah? Before now, they start realizing that it's actually for myself. It's not for anybody else, yeah. Yeah, but now you need to build that trust in them. You need to affirm them when they're still young. Yeah.
And the other question? Being neat, some children neatly fold up whatever they were using, keep it away, but others just leave it out.
Wow. Now there are two ways to this, because when a child is very neat and very meticulous and everything, please, it's not a very good sign.
Wow.
Yeah, because that's perfection, being a perfectionist. And with life, you cannot be a perfectionist. By the way, you will be so frustrated. And this comes when we are mature. We realize this perfectionism is not helping me in any way. Now, me, number one, I have been a perfectionist. Yeah. Until sometime last year, I decided I don't want to do this anymore. Yeah. As much as I like things to be done in a certain way, I can't manage everything in life, to be done in that particular way. Because if anything, it drains me. It drains me emotionally. Yeah, because you will give work to someone and they might not do it up to your standards. So what does that make you feel? So it's not a very good thing. Yeah, to be a perfectionist. But of course, we cannot encourage them to be messy. It's okay for now. Let them do it, but at times just show them that don't take life too serious. Yeah. So the other one who is messy, it's okay. That's a good place. Yeah, that's a good place. And but of course, they should not be on the extreme. They should not be on the extreme. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I didn't know if she was attacking me directly because I have disorderly organization and
Yeah.
she's very neat. So I don't know if she meant children like babies or siblings.
Oh my goodness. I think this cuts across, children, adults, everyone. Yeah. Let us not take life too serious, by the way. Yeah. So, Wairimu, of course, I know. Okay. There's a way you can look at it and see, I think mine is too much. I need to do something about it. It's okay. You can work on it. But for me now, this perfection, I'm actually dropping it. I do not want anymore. I am tired because it's draining. It's overwhelming. Yeah. Yeah.
Jen, you've put your microphone on. You wanted to say something?
No, at least now I'm able to talk, not like before. But
Okay.
I think she's answered.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm struggling perfectionist. So it disturbs me when I see good work being left all around, getting torn. Yeah. So there's a child, but there's also me who's struggling. Like, just put these things in a file.
Yeah, I'm told that often. Yeah. Is there anybody else who maybe has a question or a comment as we wind down? Miley, you look ready.
Tell her to put spaghetti. Rice. Okay, sawa. Aye.
I am just digesting the information I've just received. It's amazing. On the colors, I really like the way she has put the translations of the colors, and I'm happy with myself. The drawings I have very nice information about me, so I'm excited. And I like the way Fatma you said, like we take life easy, it's never that serious. Like each other, like mine plays with toys and cannot put them back. Simple. Yeah.
She can hear
She plays with
herself being reported.
Yeah.
she plays with them and she wants to leave them for us to. So we are the ones always clearing for her. And I keep on saying to myself, maybe one day she'll change. Sometimes I even try singing songs. We put the things together, but nothing has worked. And it will. She will just. I think maybe one day she will conquer them.
Yeah, of course she will. Because I'm very sure that she knows that's the right thing to do. Yeah. But she's like, this is home. And let me tell you, if there's a place that a child can be themselves, it's your house. If you're not allowing your children to just be themselves, if there's a day they wake up and decide, I'm going to be in pajamas today, it is okay. Let them be. But you need to let them be aware that you have noted that. So I've seen today you have decided not to change. It is okay. I don't know what you're feeling, but it's all right. If you feel like being cozy the whole day, it's fine. At least it's good to give them that leeway. It's very important. Yeah.
But
But
the
otherwise,
pajama thing is common with this young adults, these young men in our house. You've mentioned that.
Yeah. All right.
Okay, Elsie, you've been quiet. It's tell Fatma you also talk a lot.
I also talk a lot.
So how does it feel, now that you want to work with the children? Yeah. Some of these things you'll never learn them in college, eh?
It's true.
Yeah. Yeah, you not learn them in college, but I think you're at a very good place now. You'll go with a different eye altogether.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I wish you all the best, and keep me posted on how you're doing.
I'll be in touch with you for sure. I'll ask
Please
Wairimu
do.
for your contacts. Let me ask you about I think what I took away from all this is the rivers of life. You said the rivers of life.
River of life, yes.
I'll look river of life because
Yes.
my house is full of teenagers. So for me, I definitely need to look at that and exploit some more.
All right, that would be great. That would be great. Because you'll be able to tell where they're at during this time. And even as they draw those rocks, and those are some of the obstacles that maybe they are going through. They might not be able to vocalize it, but when they're drawing, they should be able to tell what they have drawn.
So how I get it is by Googling, isn't it? If I Google, I'll see something.
Yeah, you can see it, and even on YouTube, I'm sure you can be able to find something. If I'm not wrong.
I'll do that.
Yeah, that's
Thanks.
for self-awareness, just for you, even your children to understand themselves better. Okay.
I know, like Wairimu is big on emotional intelligence, and I'm also quite big on that. So self-awareness is good.
All right. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you, Elsie.
Thank you.
And finally, Miriam. Miriam, you can hear us. I'm not sure if she can hear us, but I'm very glad she came.
Oh, of course. By the way, we applaud her.
Yeah, we are
Well
so happy you
done.
came. Thank you so much. Yes. Okay, so I have one more question before now, for sure we wind up. So my son is not a color person. He doesn't like colors, but he draws with a pencil. I don't know whether that means anything.
Okay, it's not. Have you? What about the paint work? Does he like painting?
I don't know. I'm the mean mothers of don't paint in my house. Things will get dirty. I've never tried.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because okay, I've seen that in boys, by the way. Boys are not color people, but we need to see how best we can encourage them. Even if they cannot draw or color, they can do something different. Maybe you can pick a few canvas papers at House of Leather. They have some nice frames, the canvas frames, and you can pick something that relates to him, for the boys, the cars and everything. And now that one he has to paint because it comes with a small pack of pastels. I mean, of paint. Yeah.
Okay.
But painting is good. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I think, Fatma, we are totally grateful because of sharing what it is that you know, and more than that, stepping up. Yeah, because in stepping up, you have helped. We were 11. Elsie is clapping. We were 11. The others gave apologies because they had work, but they left messages saying they were so grateful and they've had a wonderful time. Thank you for being very genuine. I liked that you said that art, it's an outlet for thought. Fortunately, we are raising our children better. I remember my parents used to beat me because I loved drawing. So our children now, we can see that their drawing is not just drawing, it's communication. They are putting their thoughts in a limitless way of expressing themselves. And I've liked the various ways you've told us we can engage them, like the animal, family drawings, cloud, to express their feelings. The dough, my mom loves making dough for them. They have many stories and create so many things using the dough. Yeah, so I've liked, thank you for giving us as adults our own way of dealing with it through art, and also how we can then help our children in turn. So we are very, very grateful. I feel like you've left us hanging, so it means you have to come back another day, especially for that one, the tree of life, and the other one which you mentioned, the river of life, and self-awareness generally, because even your story, I feel like you shortened it for us because of time. So maybe next time you start with your story and then show us your journey to self-awareness, because I think that is the biggest gift for anybody who wants to move forward, is self-awareness. So thank you for taking us through art therapy. I have drawn. See, I'll show my drawings. I won't tell them what it means, but I will tell them I drew. So completely thankful. And thank you, everybody. We've gone 25 minutes past normal time, but I'm very grateful. Oh, we've seen the cookies. She's showing us the cookies and the drawings. Oh, she drew cookies with shapes.
Who is that? Miriam?
Elsie.
Oh,
yeah.
nice.
Wow.
Okay.
And she has a border. Can you see she has a border?
We can't see Wairimu.
You can't see Elsie's?
No.
Oh, okay.
But let me ask you something, Fatma, to be honest with you. When I said your left and my left, you know, when I'm looking like this, it is right. You get it? But when I look like this, it is, you know, so which is right and which is left? That's what I was confused about.
Yours is on the left.
Okay. Because I'm looking at it like this. Okay.
Yeah.
And your clouds are very heavy. I'm sorry, I noted that.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that.
Yes,
they're very heavy. Oh,
and
my
the guy
goodness.
is floating.
Yeah, and the man is he's not wearing clothes.
Oh my goodness.
No, she is Aki Wairimu, seriously. She's wearing, but you see her suitcase, her handbag is down, and the papers are all down, but she's flying. I think she's flying somewhere with the wind.
Does she have eyes and things? I can't see eyes. She has eyes.
She does.
But it doesn't have fingers.
Yeah.
Now, those are the omissions that you're talking about. But then, let me tell you, Elsie, if you don't mind, I think we are on a very safe space.
Yeah, we are in a safe space.
But what I can pick from your drawing, there's heavy anxiety.
Wow.
Yeah, and that could be because of the teenagers that you have around your house, or you know, you are just wondering, you're just anxious about them. So there's a lot of anxiety. The clouds, I can tell. That's the first thing I saw. Yeah. All right.
Thank you.
Yeah.
God bless you.
Okay. You be blessed too.
Okay, thank you, Fatma. We know how to draw and we know how to interpret. So what do we do?
Start with your children.
Okay, and then how do we change their anxiety? Then we find ways to make them happy, or what?
No, you'll not find ways to. You cannot make them happy, because now you will be. That is like doing shortcut.
Oh, okay.
It has to come from them. You know, it's for them. It's for them to see. Okay, it's a progress that they have to make. Yeah, but of course you have to, whatever that they draw and whatever that they do, you have to question them. Yeah, like, what are the people in the picture doing? You know, don't let them just show you what they are doing and that's it. No, you have to sit down and actually analyze that, whatever that they have done. Yeah, what are the people in the picture saying? What are they saying? Yeah, what will the people in the picture do next? You know, what will the people in the picture say next? Yeah. This actually will try to identify exactly which emotions are being reflected in the pictures. Yeah. So talk about it. And of course, you cannot give them the same activity on and on. But once you do the first one and you pick what you're going to pick, you'll now see the need to do another activity. If it's a day you decide to do the clouds, you know, if there's another day you decide to do the animal, it all depends on how your children are faring. And that will be based on what they'll be drawing and painting. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. Thank you so much, Fatma. This was time well spent. Yeah. Yes.
Oh, sorry, about the activity she gave us for the cookies.
Yes.
So when we started the activity, I was like, okay, draw cookies. So I was just drawing round things. I was like, okay, I can put different colors. And then I remember she mentioned, by the way, your cookies don't have to be round. They can actually have shapes. So when she said that, that's when I remembered, gosh, they're cookie cutters. And for sure, I can have these cookies in different shapes. And that led me to even drawing, he's called who? Gingerbread Man. Because now that took me back to now being a kid, and this is a nice activity. So I picked also just being involved in the activities. Yeah, as much as I'm doing my own things, just to check what they're doing and throw in a few ideas once in a while.
Wow, wow. Hey, that's impressive. It took you back to the gingerbread man.
Yes.
Childhood memories.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That
that
was
is
fun.
good. That's good. That's good
Thank you.
to hear. You're welcome.
Okay.
So you see, by the way, imagine there's a lot that we are missing out in ourselves. You know, we just want to grow up, but there's that child in us who's telling us, you can do something. You can do something. I would like to draw the gingerbread man. So the inner child is actually speaking, and when you're doing this art, that is now when all these things they come out. They come out. It's called the
By the
projecting.
way,
You project what is in there. Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
you know what
We
happened the
can go
other
on and
day?
on. This is
Okay.
one topic I love.
Yeah. Elsie is
Yeah.
sharing
So
something. Elsie,
okay.
you are
You
sharing.
know what happened the other day? Apparently, during this course season that we are in, there's a parent who was actually doing the assignment with the child, and the assignment was for the child to draw something. So the child was drawing something, she also decided to draw on her side. And let me tell you, the kind of artwork she's come up with, she didn't even know she could draw. She's drawing amazing things and posting
Wow.
them around in this Nairobi of ours. So those things, she was like, yeah, you mean I can draw? This is a river,
Wow.
these are trees.
Wow.
And now she's even using the U version and putting
Wow.
verses and sending them to people as encouragement. If you see the person you think she's been drawing for years, and she just started with
Wow.
this season.
You
And I met her
know?
and I was like, oh, because it was in one of these Zoom sessions. So in us, they lies something. It only needs to come out, and maybe God is putting us
Exactly.
here at such a time as this to
Yeah.
get this thing out of us, which we've been bottling.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Wow. Thanks for sharing, Elsie.
Yeah, I'm a big proponent of don't waste Corona. You must leave changed and better. Yeah, at the end. So thank you, ladies. Thank you. Did I cut you, Fatma, from saying anything? Or you're
No,
good?
I think yes, I am good. It's only that I wanted to mention that, like what you have said, what change are we going to make with this corona? And of course, it has to start with the people that you are living with. Yeah, of course, it's yourself. And how are you going to impact even your children? What are they going to say? What are you doing with your parents back home? And some of them will be sharing, let me tell you, my mom never used to allow us paint in the house. But this time round, we had these t-shirts and there were days that we could, just explore and do. My mom never used to draw. My mom never used to, to color. I mean, these are some of the things that we want our children to go and share with others out there. Because that way, that means we are creating a bond with them. They feel securely attached to us and they feel that we are actually together in all this, despite maybe our absence during the busy times, but they have the other side of you that I know if mom gets time, these are some of the things that we can do together. Yeah.
Okay.
So don't
Thank
make
you.
it boring. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much, ladies. May God bless you. For some of us who have to cook, we have to run now. People are hungry and they've been knocking on the door. So thank you, everybody. It was fun. This was, a value add for my life. Yeah.
It was amazing. Thank you.
Okay, bye,
Thank
everybody.
you.
Bye.
All right.
Thank you
Have
so
a
much.
nice time. Bye. Be blessed. Thank you. Welcome. Bye. You too. Bye.